Hey everyone, a lot of you will know we have a site full of team comps for TFT, but we also do these expert video guides to take it one step further. You can find all of our comps for set 5 on our website and all the information like spatulas, which is linked down below. So this comp is revolving around the 6 assassin trait. You itemize your main carries with Nocturne and Katarina, and then they provide both magic and attack damage, so it's kind of hard to play against. The backline access is really strong against a lot of comps right now that use these ranged carries. So this comp is a slow roll comp that uses 3 cost carries that you're going to 3-star, but this means that you roll down to 50 every turn and not below to keep your interest. This means you can either slowly roll at level 7 to look for those 3 stars in Katarina and Nocturne, or you can actually just look to go to level 8 normally by leveling up normally and then start to roll at that point. Our full level 8 team is going to be Katarina, Nocturne, Viego, Volibear, Diana, Ivan, LeBlanc, and Kha'Zix. Getting good items on Katarina and Nocturne while also getting the rest of the normal level 8 team will be good enough for top 4 in most games. To get that first place though, you will need at least one of Katarina or Nocturne to 3-star, if not both, plus have some items left over to have a good frontline tank. Win streaking early and hitting level 9 will also give you a really solid boost for getting that first place. So this comp doesn't really have that many options because you really want to have the 6 assassin trait active. Normally you can move around the front line, but in this team they also provide Revenant for Nocturne, so you want to try and get the 8 units as best you can. The options really come though from spatulas, so Assassin Emblem is a clear choice for this team. This will allow you to replace one of your lower cost assassins like Kha'Zix or LeBlanc, and you can replace them with any unit you want or able to find. This could be something like a Forgotten unit like Rise, has pretty good crowd control and then is going to buff up the Katarina and Viego, or just a strong 5-cost carry like a Garen or Darius. If you're able to get a Shadow Spatula though, the Forgotten Emblem is also really good to be able to get that 3 Forgotten trait, buffing up your Viego and Katarina, and you can place this on pretty much anything, even like a Nocturne for the increased stats. Revenant Emblem is also a strong item on Katarina instead of your Guardian Angel. It will also actually buff up your other Revenant units as well, so it is better in this team. When it comes to shadowed items, you actually have a few choices. Now, Infinity Edge will be one of the strongest items you can put on Katarina or onto Nocturne. Katarina doesn't actually auto-attack very often, and Nocturne has that built-in lifesteal, so the drawback on this item is not that bad at all. A Shadowed Guardian Angel is really good on Katarina because the attack speed debuff that you get doesn't matter on her. Her main source of damage is through her ability, so simply giving her a lot of extra life when she's taken down is really good. A Hand of Vengeance is also providing both damage and healing. Now normally you have to wait to get the effects back after a kill, but because Katarina jumps around so often with a blue buff, you will have it up more often than not. A Shadowed Ziggs is really good on Nocturne. As an assassin, he auto-attacks a lot, and this item lets him gain a lot of upfront attack speed. Finally, Volibear is a very strong unit in this team, and Shadow Morello allows him to apply a very strong debuff on a lot of different enemies. Now moving into our items, this one is a bit different because we have 2 main carries. Katarina and Nocturne are dual carries for this comp, and you'll want to itemize them based on the items you find or which ones you're able to find first. Katarina can normally carry a bit harder early game, so we'll start with her, and the most important item for her is blue buff. We don't recommend the shadowed version as she only has a mana pool of 20, so with the normal one, you're just going to be bouncing around constantly. After that, the best damage item will be Infinity Edge, or the shadowed version, and then after that, the last item can be pretty much anything you want. You can go Guardian Angel for pure defense, you can also pick up Hextech Gunblade or Hand of Vengeance for healing, or even Rabadons for burst. Now, Nocturne's damage is a bit different. It will be done through auto-attack, so you want things that scale with things like his attack speed. Your Shadowed Ziggs is a great item to give him upfront attack speed, but then Infinity Edge or the Shadowed version will scale his damage really well. For a third item, it's really up to you. You can look for damage with things like Rune's Hurricane or the Shadowed one, Rage Blade, Last Whisper, Giant Slayer, anything like that. If you have any extra defensive items, then they will go onto your Volibear once you've found him to go alongside that Morello burn, so things like Dragon's Claw, Bramble Vest, even Stoneplate. Frozen Heart, or the Shadowed version, is a great item on Diana who can apply that debuff really well and pull enemies towards her. You can also pair this with a Sunfire Cape if you built one of them early game to burn the backline. Now let's go stage by stage and break down the strategy behind the comp. So the general idea is you're going to be slowly leveling and slowly rolling, or default leveling. That means to start the game, you focus more on your items than units at this point. You level early if you can, so you have a higher chance of getting lucky and finding a Katarina. With blue buff, she'll carry your early game really hard. During stage 3, you level up to 6 at 3-2. You build the strongest board that you can with the units that you find. You should be relatively strong here with assassins and frontline or playing coven units. In stage 4 then, you level up to 7 at 4-1, and if you need to stabilize, you should roll down a bit here in order to find and build a stronger team. At this point, you can either look to slowly roll for a 3-star Katarina or Nocturne, so you stay above 50 gold and you roll down to that every single turn, or you can simply look to level up to 8 and then look to 3-star them after. It is better to roll at level 8, you have better odds, but if you are weaker, you will need to roll and upgrade your team enough to stop losing at level 7. During stage 5 then, you level up to 8 after you are done slowly rolling, or you level up to 8 at 5-1 and then look to roll afterwards. If you manage to find these 3 stars early, then you should definitely push for level 9. Finally, we can take a look at our positioning. Now, you want to have Nocturne sap the attack speed from the other Revenant units with the Shadowed Zeeks. If you don't have this item, you can simply place him wherever you want. Volibear and Ivan are in the front as the Revenant trait gives them a free Guardian Angel, but it ensures they cast their ability pretty fast. Katarina can go almost anywhere because her ability makes her jump around anyway, but you actually want her to start on the opposite side to the enemy carry. She is going to throw her dagger to the furthest unit and jump there. Lastly, you will want Viego and Diana to be positioned so that they jump close to enemy carries to make use of their abilities. Early game positioning is not going to be that tough, but this is an example of something you might use. So that will give you everything you need to know to win with our 6 assassin comp, and remember that you can follow along with this guide in game with our TFT overlay, so make sure you download that and bring it with you into your next game.